can probably see from the title, I'm going to be taking you through my fitness journey. This has been like a highly requested video, and I always get questions about fitness and also how I got to where I am today. So I thought that I would just create a video and take you through all that. So if I do miss out on anything that you did want to know, or I miss any of your questions or anything, feel free to ask me questions down in the comment section down below, or feel free to even DM me as well. I'm more than happy to reply to them. So my fitness journey, I still consider myself that I'm still on this journey. My body's still changing. I'm still learning along the way. There's so much to learn. But yes, so I don't think I'll ever get off this journey. I think as my journey is like my lifestyle now. So I debated a lot about sharing my story, as it does make me feel a little self-conscious, I guess. The last thing that I'd want it to do is to make you guys feel self-conscious about yourself. So just a little disclaimer there. But I am super proud of my journey over the past year, and it's my story to tell. So I thought that I would share it with you guys. So first, I just want to get something off my chest. I never thought that I was overweight or fat. I hate that word. I never really thought that I was, and I never really paid attention to it in high school. I never obsessed over weight or anything like that. I don't have scales in my house, so that's never been like a big thing for me. I only ever weigh myself if I go to my mum's house, just to keep myself accountable and to see where I am tracking. I am aware that muscle weighs more, so if I do go to a house and I weigh more, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'll probably take it as a win and go, yes, and tell George and be like, yeah, I've put on this amount of weight, look how much muscle I have. So not once did I believe that I was fat. I just remember myself with putting on clothes. I remember how I didn't like them, like the way that they fit. And also I didn't like the way that I was feeling. So every morning I would have to drag myself out of bed pretty much. I felt sluggish, I was tired, and I just wasn't very confident in myself. So I'm just going to take you back to when I was a little bit younger. I have lived with my mum ever since I was 8 years old. Now, I've always done some sort of sport or physical activity. I've loved exercising. So I've done like swimming, I've done netball, I've done basketball, I've done AFL, I've done Irish dancing. I've done a lot of sports, I'm not gonna lie. And I never just really found the one thing that I could stick with or that I loved. Now, growing up with my mum has always been into a lot of triathlons, a lot of like marathons, all those like crazy sports that hopefully one day I could be a part of one of them. I'd love to do a triathlon, but she was always like such a big inspiration to me, and still is a big inspiration, as I would love to do that one day. I just find it crazy. I did a 10K last year in the tri as like a group, and yeah, I don't know how she does a full, like the swim, the ride and the run all by herself. So shout out to you, mum. You are such a big inspiration to me. So well done. You're killing it still. But I guess from there, like where I noticed things weren't great was probably back in high school. So some days I'd go to school and it'd be lunchtime, and I just felt scared to eat in front of people. So some days I wouldn't even eat. If I did eat, I'd eat a salad or a wrap, which they're quite healthy choices, so I'm not mad about that at all. But I think where the biggest part is, I don't know why I felt so frightened to eat in front of people. I think that's so ridiculous now, but back then that was such a major thing for me. So yeah. Saying that, I did finish school at 1:40 every single day. So I'd go home and I'd eat then. So I never would starve myself. After high school, when I graduated, I went on the pill. I started seeing Jordan, and that's probably when I noticed that I did start to put more weight on. So I was eating probably the same portion size as what Jordan was, and I didn't even realize like that I was doing this. Like I probably should have been having like a smaller portions. His sister had an amazing boot camp, which I loved. I put on so much muscle. I'd never seen that much muscle on me before. Probably wasn't until last year that I really realized I needed to cut back on my food, and that was what was stopping me. Because I kept going to the gym, kept trying out all these new exercises. I was so motivated. I was going every single day, and it was my food that was letting me down. 2017 is when George and I moved out of home. We built our own house. I was working pretty much full-time hours, as well as also doing my diploma in specialist makeup. So I was doing that 3 days a week, and all the rest of the days I'd be working. So I was staying up till about 2 a.m. in the morning, trying to get like all of my assignments done, so then I didn't have to worry about them on work days. Then I could just focus on my work. Wasn't until 2018 that I decided, like the end of 2018, I decided that where I was working wasn't for me. I needed a change. I'd been there for 8 years, so I knew makeup was my passion, as I obviously did at my diploma, and I was working like little bits of makeup and doing a lot of freelancing, but I just knew it wasn't for me. So I decided to apply for Sephora, as a lot of you may know that I work there, and I got the job and I absolutely love it. It's made such a big difference to my life. And my Sephora team that I work with, they're so supportive of me. They've always got my back, and they're so motivating. They are into a lot of fitness like myself, which is amazing. So we kind of thrive off each other, which I love. So I love you guys. If you're watching this, love you. But yeah, so that's made like such a big change in my life as well, working for somewhere that I actually love. So that happened the start of last year is when I started working with them. End of 2018, my New Year's resolution for 2019 was to find a new job, which I did. Then to find like some sort of sport that I fell in love with, also to try and get fit and healthy. I've always used supplements from EHP or Lux Fitness, so I'll leave those websites down below for you guys if you did want to check them out. But I saw that EHP was having an 8-week challenge, so I joined in on this last year, and I didn't really use the workouts as much as I thought I would, but I loved the books purely for the food. So they had counted out all my calories for me, which I'd never even thought of doing, was calorie counting. I didn't know how to do it. This was like a whole new like ball game for me. So I started off with the books and going off what they recommended and just cooking from those plans that they gave me. Now this was so good. I learned so much about food and what's in everything and how much calories is in something, and like how much fats and carbs and protein I should be having. Now, if you don't find any of this interesting, then I wouldn't recommend just learn how to calorie count, because it could be very obsessive. I can see that, but I didn't get obsessed with it at all. I found it quite interesting knowing what was in each food, and now I can kind of just count off the top of my head. But I don't really count anymore. I kind of just eat when I feel hungry and stop when I feel full. So a lot of intuitive eating, is that how you say it? Intuitive eating, I think that's how you say it. I don't know, but yes. So I just eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. Every now and then I will do like a little bit of calorie counting just to see how I'm tracking, and if I want to hit new goals, then I'll add some more calories, or I'll take away some calories, just depending on what I'm doing as well and how much I'm exercising. So I'd already started calorie counting. I was still at my old job. Then Mum sent me this link one day and she was like, hey, this weekend there's like a big opening for an outdoor fitness group. You should come and do the trial day with me. So I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. So I joined that on Facebook. It was a free trial, went down to the beach and I did it, and it was so hard. I lost my hearing, I felt dizzy, but I did really enjoy it. I just realized I was so unfit at this time. This is when I met Matt Fox. So I'll leave his Instagram handle here for you if you haven't heard of him. He owns True Fit Noosa, so he runs all the boot camps there. He also owns Bodyweight Built. So that's another online program that you can do just bodyweight exercises. You don't need any equipment. You don't need much space at all. I did them when I was in Bali, just beside the pool. I do them in my backyard now, especially because we are on isolation. You probably have seen a few of them on my Instagram too. I'm always doing like bodyweight workouts, and the only equipment that I ever do use is like a dumbbell. So go check him out if you haven't seen him and you are wanting some inspiration for some exercises. Head over there. So yes, I've been a part of True Fit Noosa for over a year now, and I've been doing all their exercises. I started off going 4 to 5 times a week. At this time when I was first going, Matt was having to halve the amount of reps that I was doing compared to everyone else, as I was lagging behind. It probably only took maybe 4 months for me starting to catch up to them and really noticing that every time I'd put on my clothes, it was getting too big. So I was having to throw out clothes. I was catching up to everyone, which I was so excited about. Then I was like, oh wow, like if my clothes are getting big, maybe I have lost some weight. So I went and had a look back to some photos that I'd taken. I took one when I first started the EHP challenge. So I went back to that, I took another photo and I put them together. So I'll leave that here for you guys. So when I first started this journey, I was, again, I wouldn't say I was overweight, I wasn't fat. I weighed 78 kilos, which was the heaviest I've ever been. Then 4 months later, in this photo here, I had lost 12 kilos. It's now been a year and I've lost 23 kilos. I don't want to lose any more. I don't mind if I do put a bit more on, because I know that I am just probably going to be building muscle. So thank you so much, Matt. Like you and Vilda have been such a big inspiration for me, and thank you so much for pushing me as hard as you do every single day. If I don't rock up to a session, I get a message saying, hey Tay, where were you this morning? So thank you so much for pushing me and making me come every single day, pretty much. And also making me go as hard as I do when I am there. Some days I just don't feel like exercising, and you just push me just a little bit more and just say, come on Tay, like you can go faster than that, or I know you can do more than that, or I know you can use heavier weight than that. So thank you so much, Matt. I'm so thankful, and I don't think like anything that I say or do could ever like thank you enough. So thank you so much. When I first started, probably the hardest part was waking up at 4:40 every single morning to get down to training, and my housemate being asleep and Jordan being asleep and the dogs even being asleep, and just having to wake up, especially in winter, having to wake up at 4:40 in the morning and get myself to gym. So what I found worked the best was having my activewear ready and out for me like the night before, and having my drink bottle filled up, so then I could pretty much just roll out of bed, chuck on my activewear, grab my drink bottle and get to class. So I wouldn't have any time to think about it at all. If I had time to think about it, I probably wouldn't have turned up, to be honest. So yes, that's what I found worked for me. And sometimes in winter, to be honest, I slept with my crop top on, I slept with my tights on, I'm not gonna lie, and I just literally rolled out of bed, grabbed my drink bottle, off I went. So yes, that was probably the hardest part at that point. Now Jordan has finally joined True Fit as well, so he's waking up every morning with me and he's training with me. I believe the results that he's gotten from this too. So it's so motivating that he's finally been a part of it as well. So I guess where I am today, I'm so happy with where I'm at. Now that I'm on isolation, I'm still doing my classes every single morning. I'm trying to keep as much routine as I can possible. I've actually gone back out and I've been surfing, which I haven't done in years, so I'm just spending this time to actually do some things that I've never had time for. I've also found a passion for yoga, so I've been doing that. Trying to do it like at least twice a week, or 3 times would be incredible if I can keep that up. So yes, just finding like new and different things for me to try. Just to wrap it up for you guys, if you were wanting to start your own journey, what I can suggest for you guys, and I found that worked for me too, was make sure that you start small, eat what you love and find what works for you. Find a sport or an exercise that you enjoy and that you can maintain and make it a lifestyle. And also just do it for you. Don't do it for anyone else. Just make sure you are wanting to do it for you. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Best wishes for your own journeys too. I can't wait to hear about them. Make sure you do comment below and let me know your fitness journeys, or where you are on your fitness journey at the moment. I would love to hear it. So yes, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.